All right, everything is working. I'm just waiting for Thomas, and he's going to be here momentarily. But here's a video of him while I do a little cutting and pasting.
On est en train d'enregistrer un disque qui est un disque sous mon nom, c'est ce qui est la première fois.
C'est un super album, je suis très content de l'accueillir ici, tellement c'est beau.
Quand j'ai rencontré Carl-Henri et Ellie, j'ai été très stimulé de jouer avec la jeune génération.
C'est un honneur total.
De pouvoir partager des expériences musicales comme ça.
On a des invités de marque.
Ça représente toute une histoire, toute une amitié qui date quand même maintenant.
C'est un grand musicien et surtout un grand monsieur de cœur. J'ai la lourde tâche d'avoir la direction artistique du disque de Thomas Bramerie.
Ça synthétise un peu toutes les 30 dernières années que j'ai passées à jouer avec d'innombrables fantastiques musiciens.
C'est quand même incroyable. Il joue sur tellement de disques et il a tellement servi la musique des autres qu'il puisse faire son disque, je trouve ça fantastique, quoi.
Fait que ce qui sort de là, évidemment, c'est profondément du jazz, quoi.
Wow, that is gorgeous. Woo! Let's see, is he here? Not yet. Okay, wow, that was really beautiful, wasn't it? Whew. Jazz 11. It's really gorgeous. Let's see, what else? Thomas, here we are. Here's one.
Looking for an easier way to get that LLC.
My ads come up. Yeah, just listening to a few things. Are you there?
Yeah, but can you Can you see me? Oh, wow, I'm in the car, so I don't know because it's night here, right? As you know, it's 10 p.m.
Yes. Oh, I can see you though. I mean, you have
Yeah, I
light
know,
on.
but I just put the little light in the car, so that's a bit. But
You look very hip.
wow, is that okay? Or can you hear me fine? Because I don't think I have only the telephone connection, not the Wi-Fi anymore.
I actually hear you fine,
The,
believe it or not. So, yeah.
okay, telephone connection, not the Wi-Fi
Hold
anymore.
on one
I
second.
actually hear you fine,
The-
believe it or not. So
I'm just trying to.
yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, there we go. And that, and I'm pretty good. Hi, Roland. Yeah, this is lovely. Yeah, it's good so far. You know, let's continue on.
Okay, I'm sorry, it's kind of dark. Yeah. So
No, you look very hip, man.
okay. Okay.
You kind of look like Sting right now, you
Well,
know.
okay, good. Yeah. That's interesting. That's
So,
that's interesting.
so what gig did you just do?
Okay, that was very special. It was actually, you know what we did? We did some kind of workshop for like a company called L'Oreal. You know that L'Oreal, the company that sells products from the hair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was a pianist, like a British pianist. We are here in France. We are kind of an hour away from Paris, but that's a British pianist called Alex Steele. He's a jazz pianist, but he has a second career as a psychologist, and he worked with those companies. And that was interesting. He was trying to make the connection in between what happens on stage as jazz musicians, and a team, like a team for a company that works. And so that was very interesting. It was more talking that we were playing, but we did some kind of experiments with the music, where they came on stage with us and did some trying to lead us as we play, and see how we can do connection as a jazz musicians, to improvise, meaning use everything that is happening at the moment, even if it's a problem, even if someone making mistakes on the stage, and we still use it to continue on and try to create something on that. So that was interesting to do the parallel in between, let's say, a jazz quartet, a jazz band, and a teamwork, like how to manage a team, like this, using trying to use what everything is saying about it. So anyway, that was about it. That was interesting,
I love that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm totally into that kind of thinking, and I've been there a long time, thinking about that. I mean, it's so wonderful. I've often thought, how blessed am I to have jazz to teach me life lessons? I
Wow.
mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really, and it's amazing. I even wrote a little book about it during the pandemic, because I'd been
Oh,
thinking
really?
about it for so long, and
Okay.
I saw so many um, things, so many lessons that were connected, like a life lesson to jazz improvisation to vocal technique. I
I
mean,
guess. Yeah.
all the same lesson, so it's kind of fascinated me like that. So I love that. I think that's great.
Absolutely. No, and I didn't even know exactly what it was, because the guy called us to do this, and he told us, okay, look, it's going to be very special. This is a workshop. I'll tell you everything. And basically, he almost didn't tell us anything. We were on stage, and we discovered what he was talking about, and so it was even better for us
Yeah.
to what this surprise, some experiments, actually,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
which is what jazz is about, and as you said, probably which this is what life is about, every day, so yeah.
Yeah, when I thought about it, it's funny because I only talked about those three things in my little book.
Yeah.
But when I thought about it, it really expands out. It can apply to absolutely anything. It's your state of mind, right?
That's
And
true.
how do you choose to live? How do you choose to think? I mean, it's your choices. It's
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
That's true. But also for me, I think it's really interesting to realize that when we are on stage, and especially when we play jazz music, which is really based, as basically we have one page, A4 format, one page with some little notes on it, and we can play for 20 minutes if we want, on this little thing. So that means that we create as we play, and also we have to be always extremely aware of what is happening at this moment. Sometimes some people talk about, the try to be in the now, try to be in the present, and this is the way we are when we play this music, and so it's very interesting to try to be aware of this and still to be in the same state of mind or in the same mood or whatever you call it, or when you don't play, when you are with people,
Oh,
try to listen to what they say, to pay attention to what's going on around you, and to use it, and not to deny it, or not to, and so look around. This is what this guy was talking about that tonight, and I'm very aware of this, this very specific state of mind we are when we play, and try to be like that all the time when we don't play, when we just do whatever we can do every day. It's not very easy, but if we are aware of it, it's not bad, at least, yeah.
I've been actually thinking about this kind of thing
Oh,
for
yeah.
a few weeks, like very specifically. Um, One is just, how you go through different states of mind along
Yes.
your career.
Yeah, of course.
You might have these images that are working for you for a month or two, and then you kind of basically forget them and move on to some new images.
Right.
So there's been this image that I've had coming up that when I'm with the players and singing, where it's kind of a visual, it's like this space right here, and like a musician is here and a musician is here and I'm here. And if I don't allow myself to be there and flow, then it's not happening in various ways.
Oh, okay.
As soon as I can get into this kind of visual thing, I know I'm okay. And it's definitely, it's such a hard thing to describe, isn't it? Because you have to be aware of what's going on. You have
Yeah.
to be able to let yourself go and flow and know where that space is. And because if you can't, then, it will only happen haphazardly, right? As opposed to us at least, you know, being there most of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. I mean,
It is, yeah. But this is true that it is quite hard to describe it with words, because it's kind of state. We have to be in it, and very hard to describe exactly with words. Actually, we have to experiment it, in a way.
yeah, yeah. I mean, in teaching too, especially lately for me, because I have a lot of college age students
Hmm.
right now, and they're like at school, they're good singers, and they're smart, they're intelligent, they're in their early 20s or whatever,
Yeah.
and the thing that they lack is experience, of course, which is
Right.
what I can bring them, and but what we're speaking about is, I don't know, it might be a more mature state of mind, to fully understand it and to keep it in action.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
However, surprisingly enough, talking about jazz, if we look at jazz history, a lot of fantastic musicians that actually made jazz history and that are jazz legend. They started, you have recording of them when some of them, they were 19, 20, 22, 26. Some died at 26 and they still, put their mark on this music. There are plenty of examples of young musicians that died young and still it seemed that they were in this spirit, from the beginning, boom, right away. Yeah.
I think Billy Strayhorn was 17 when he wrote Lush Life.
I heard of this. Wow. Yeah, for example. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there must have been some maturity or something. I think of when I hear Samara Joy, she's got to be 24 or something. I don't know, but she has this whole mature perspective of the music.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
It is. Yeah. It's still something that has some kind of mystery in it, and it's good. So we cannot explain everything, that's a good thing, but it's still, it's some kind of magical in a way. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I heard before you came on, I don't know if you heard what I was playing. I was doing, let's see, what was I doing? I'm going to go look to talk about it for a minute.
When I saw that you passed some kind of the little teaser of the CD that I did, or you were playing something else. I know
that was it. Side Stories, right?
Right. Yeah.
That sounded gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank
really,
you.
really beautiful.
Thanks. Yeah.
And I mean, this is normally how I jump into my interviews. I'm just whatever. That's why it's comfortable. It's just like it's a hang. You know.
We just talk. We have plenty of things to say.
Yeah. So I met Thomas. How do you pronounce your first name?
Okay, in French we say Thomas.
Ah, okay.
But you can say whatever you. I mean, I know this name exists in English, and it's not Thomas, it's Thomas or whatever, something like that. So you say whatever you feel like. No
okay, just whatever. But so we met in Long Beach, Long Beach, California. He was playing with Sasha Boutros at this concert by a friend of mine, Dave Ross, and it was just so good. And hearing Thomas play, Thomas.
No, you can say Thomas. That's fine.
Okay, hearing him play was really, really wonderful, and got to sing with him a little bit, and
that was good.
So that was my first introduction to you. I mean, I've interviewed some other French musicians like Daniel Yvanek. Do you know him?
I know Daniel very well. Yeah, he's a friend.
I really like him.
Yeah,
I think very highly of him. And I saw that you had played with Elizabeth.
Contomanu, absolutely. Yeah, Elizabeth.
I love her.
Contomanu. She's fantastic.
Fantastic. Frederic Loiseau, the guitar player.
I don't know him.
Yeah,
but I know he's.
Yeah, and I think Frank Salam is French. Is that
absolutely
right? Yeah. So, and then Tierney's husband, whose name I forget for some reason. Tierney Sutton's husband.
Oh no, I know her. I know her name. I know maybe we met in New York actually, but I don't know her husband. Or maybe I know him.
He's in Paris, and I'm sorry, I forgot his name. I've interviewed over 600 people, and so sometimes I'll see somebody and I'll say, "Oh, we should interview you," and they say, "You already have." That's a little embarrassing,
Yeah, right.
But anyway, you have
me.
You have a greeting from Joyce Glasgow. She said, "I really enjoyed meeting you and hearing you play so beautifully at the Seattle Jazz Fellowship."
In Seattle, absolutely. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. She's great. She comes here a lot. So let's see. So you lived in New York for a while too. How long did you live in New York?
11 years. I was there from
Oh.
from 96, from 1996, so until 2007. I was in New York.
I mean, it's I know kind of the answer to this question, but I'd like to hear what your perspective is. How did it change you living in New York? How did it affect you?
I think honestly, it affected me a lot, a lot. I would say for the two main aspects would be, wait, because I think I have to move my car. Oh no, no, okay, wait. I'm sorry about this.
It's
Maybe I'm
okay. Are you driving yet?
No, actually, I'm still waiting for I'm sitting in the car, but I'm waiting for my friend, the sax player, and I'm not sure he knows I'm in the car.
Oh.
So at some point, maybe if you play some music or so, I will go and check and get him,
Okay,
I'm
just
not
let
sure.
me know when.
Yeah, he should see me though. But anyway, so no, two aspects. The first, of course, is the musical aspect. There is a huge difference in the jazz, in the way musicians approach jazz music in Europe or in France than compared to New York. Compared to everything is so different. And that's why I tell always when I have a master class or what I teach and I talk to the students and I told them, wow, that's an experience that if you can do it, go to New York and see what's going on there. Well, first of all, when you go there, for us, when you read books of jazz history and then you go to New York and you see, oh, wow, 52nd Street, wow, oh, the Blue Note, oh, the Village Vanguard. Oops, sorry, wait. Where is the light now? Being here. Oh, shit, okay. Here I am. I'm sorry about this a little awkward situation, but anyway, so what I was thinking, what I felt basically, when I was in New York at the beginning, I was feeling that basically everything that we were seeing, everything we were reading in books or about jazz history, and when we were listening to some recordings, of jazz greats, and then you go there and you walk in the street and you meet Tommy Flanagan and you meet, he's dead now, but I mean, at the time when I was there, he was still there, in the streets, in the clubs, or I remember, passing by in the streets in New York, like, Al Foster. My wife met Al Foster. Oh, and I had met him before. So he said, "Oh yeah, you are Thomas White." So jazz history is there alive. This is not history; it's just happening. Which is not the case in France, even if there are some great French musicians that we meet. But it's still there is a difference, And I felt this. And I tell all the young musicians, I say, you have to go there, and also, how can I say, this is an American music. We have to admit it. Of course, this is plenty of mixes, different musics. As we all know, it's a mix of different things. However, it is an American thing. It was born there, and it is an American music. So I felt the musicians are taking this music differently in the US than we do in Europe. And I don't know if I can, really explain, but this is a feeling that I have. And when they play this music in New York, I don't know. I felt a different intensity. Also, there is a kind of normal respect of all the jazz history in the US. But I don't know. Maybe you don't feel it, but this is because you are there. But for me, coming from France and arriving there, and meeting all those musicians, listening to all, and playing with them every day. I was playing with different musicians, and I don't know, for some reason they are. I felt that American musicians are taking this music more seriously, probably I should say, than we do. They are plenty of musicians that are like, they take it, they say, oh yeah, I play this, I play that, I play a little bit of jazz. No, you cannot play a little bit of jazz. Either you are a jazz musician or you are not. You know, it's almost like I remember my teacher when I was 14, French guy. He said, oh, you want to do some jazz? You know that if you play jazz, you have to wear, oh, I don't know the word in English. You know what, the dress that have the monks, you know,
Okay.
meaning you enter in religion in a way, you know. You have to think jazz, you have to walk jazz, you have to talk jazz, you have to play jazz. You know, you enter in something very specific. I must tell you, that's probably interesting for you too, that this guy his name is actually Tony Petrucciani. He's actually the father of Michel Petrucciani, the piano player that you probably heard of, or probably you know who he was. And so for them, that was the whole family. That jazz is not something that you do just like this, you know. It is like extremely, you dive into this and you live for this, you know. This is what he was telling me, and so I felt this in a lot of American jazz musicians that I met and that I play with, much more than in French musicians, you know. So that's the first difference. It's the approach of jazz music in the US and in Europe. And now I must admit that the second difference has nothing to do with music. Is like, I didn't expect to have almost like a cultural shock going to the US. You know, if I had moved to Bangladesh or Ivory Coast, you expect some differences because you know that. But going to the US, for me, I was like, yeah, it's just a Western country like we are. You know, we are all the same. But it is, for me, it is extremely different. The culture of the whole country in the US is very different than what's going on in Europe about everything, about the approach of the food, of the money, of business, of everything is so different. So it is very interesting because all of a sudden I had another point of view on my own country, because you know I lived in a foreign country. It could have been somewhere else, but living in a foreign country, and then you come back to your own country and you have a brand new eyes all of a sudden, and you see some stuff that I didn't notice when I was living there, you know. So that's all of a sudden you see your own country, you see yourself basically from the outside, you know. So that gives you another take of your own country. And from this point of view, it was that changed. So living in the US changed my whole life, basically, musically, and also on a general level of how can I say, on the society itself. You know, the American society is very different than the French society and the European society in general. Yeah. So that's very interesting. You learn a lot, you know, about this. You know, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very interesting.
Yeah.
I know what you mean because I've traveled. Yeah. I mean, I've traveled and I've lived a little bit in Europe, and I've always been drawn to Europe because basically style is a little freer and more,
Yeah.
you know, kind of everybody kind of, to me, everybody feels that, you know. It's like, yeah, it's okay to feel that freerness.
Yeah.
Here, there's, you know, sometimes free is really not looked on as good, and sometimes it's okay. It depends on who you're hanging out with. And then Japan is a place I've been to a lot for years. So I really kind of, I mean, of course there are things that I don't know, but because I haven't like fully lived there, you know.
Right.
But I've spent a lot of time there. But so I really recognize that their culture is very, very different. It looks like
Of
us, but
course.
it's not us at all, you know.
Yeah.
So I just, yeah, I like it. I think it's fascinating. I know what you mean about coming back to, you know, your regular life and looking around and seeing it. It's nice to be able to keep a little bit of the other perspective back in your
Yeah.
life, you know,
Yeah.
if you can, you know,
Yeah.
because sometimes it's hard, you know, because it's not that culture, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. But for this point of view, it's very, very interesting. Also, this so that I mean, to go back to your question, yeah, in this way also I've been
Yes.
affected the fact that I lived in the US and then coming back to France. But if we come back to really to music and to jazz, I remember recently a friend of mine. I mean, I don't know him very well, but I just played with an Italian drummer, Francesco Ciniglio, very good, fantastic drummer. He's Italian, but he lives in France, and we had the opportunity to play a couple of times together. And he lived in New York for a while as well. And then we had the
Uh-huh.
opportunity to play for the first time. We played. I think we played with Frank Amsalem, the piano player that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Anyway, we
Yeah.
played in Paris together. And at the end, he was very excited, you know, by the music, what we were doing, what he played. And we talk after, and I said, yeah, I did live in New York, you know, 20 years ago, I was in New York and I lived 10 years there, da, da, da. And he said, oh, okay, stop. I understand why. Okay, I understand why I felt comfortable. You know, I understand why I felt this. You know, he felt this. You know, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, if you don't know, I mean, how can I say? Yeah, if you know this thing, the way they approach the American musician, the way they approach the music, it probably I caught this living, you know, those 11 years in New York, and then when I play in France, some French musicians that don't know about this, they don't see, they don't feel it, they don't know. Okay, whatever, I play my thing, but that was interesting for me that he said that. He said, oh, okay, that's why I felt comfortable with you, you know, because he lived in New York as well. And there is that thing that not every French or European musician have, you know, and they are not aware of that. I'm not talking about quality of musician. I'm just talking about the different approach of the music that is this jazz music
Mhm.
that is an American thing, you know, and you have to go there and try to feel it, you know, and then to add it in your
Yeah.
own playing, you know. I really feel that, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's really good to hear. It's really nice. You have a few hello, Stefan Belmondo.
Yeah. Stefan is
Did
a
I
very,
say that right?
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Stefan, yeah. He's a very dear friend of
Yeah.
mine. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Our story
And
goes,
also,
yeah.
oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you that Frederic Loiseau is here also. He says hello.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And you were going to tell me about Stefan?
Stefan, yeah, our story is an old story. I mean, when we first met, he was 12 years old and I was 14. When we met in a jazz school that was directed by his father. His father was a baritone saxophone, and so he had this
Uh-huh.
school. Yeah, he had this school, and so I came to this school to learn music. Basically, my father was listening to something that I loved. I didn't know what it was. He had CDs of some guy called John Coltrane, Miles Davis, and Jerry Mulligan, and all these guys. I was listening to that at home. So when I came to them, I said, "Yeah, there is a music that I kind of like because my father is playing it." You know, they said, "What is it?" I said, "I don't know. I have this recording, this guy John Coltrane, whatever." And he said, "Wow, this is jazz music. Oh, okay, great. I love this music." And so Stefan was here with his brother and his father, and the other families that was here that I told you a little bit earlier was the Petrucciani family. So
Yes.
this the guitar player, his father, and then Michel Petrucciani. He was 17, but he was the teacher, the piano teacher. So I took lesson with him on piano, but he was very young. It was extremely interesting. My point is that I dive into jazz right away, boom, and we were all playing jazz. We were listening to that with Stéphane. We spent hours, like nights, because we had the keys of the school. And we were like, even after when we were 16, I was going there and staying all night. We were recording with Stéphane, with those little Revox. I don't know if you know what that is. That's recorder where you can do I'm talking about 40 years ago. Okay, so there was no iPhone and all of that. So we were he was playing drums and I was playing guitar and bass, and he was playing drums and trumpet. Yeah. So we were doing a first track, bass and drums together. Like the rhythm section, the whole and then we were playing with headphones, and then guitar, and he was playing trumpet. So, and we played over the recording that we did just before, so we had a little quartet, the two of us, we spent, nights doing these things. Yeah. And we are still 40 years later, we are, 45 years later, we are still playing together. With Sasha, for example, tomorrow we see each other, with Sasha in Paris, and we play. So that's good. That's good.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That last record that we heard a little bit of, which we could listen to again, and you could actually go to see if your sax player is coming.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can listen to that again. It's really beautiful. Wow. I wanted to talk about that record because it's just beautiful. Do you want me to play that cut, and then you can go look for your sax player? Do you want me to do that?
Right. If you want, yeah, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay,
I'll do that.
Great, thanks.
Sure. I'm looking for that. It's really quite beautiful. Let's see. Gorgeous. It's called Side Stories, 2018 Jazz 11. Here we go.
Enregistrer un disque qui est un disque sous mon nom, c'est ce qui est la première fois.
C'est un super album, je suis très content de l'accueillir ici, tellement c'est beau.
J'ai rencontré Carl-Henri et Elie. J'ai été très stimulé de jouer avec la jeune génération.
C'est un honneur total
de pouvoir partager des expériences musicales comme ça.
On a des invités de marque.
Ça représente toute une histoire, toute une amitié qui date quand même maintenant.
C'est un grand musicien et surtout un grand monsieur de cœur. J'ai la lourde tâche d'avoir la direction artistique du disque de Thomas Bramerie.
Ça synthétise un peu toutes les 30 dernières années que j'ai passées à jouer avec d'innombrables fantastiques musiciens.
même incroyable. Il joue sur tellement de disques et il a tellement servi la musique des autres qu'il puisse faire son disque, je trouve ça fantastique, quoi.
On a ça en nous, ce qui fait que ce qui sort de là, évidemment, c'est profondément du jazz, quoi.
Wonderful.
I'm here, right? You hear me still, or?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
So, wow, that is just really beautiful. Were there two distinct bands or just kind of mix and match?
You said what? Sorry.
Were there two distinct bands or was it just kind of a mix and match?
On this recording? You are talking about this recording? No, it's actually basically a one rhythm section, like a regular, like piano, bass, and drums with two very young musicians. At that time, they were very young, like 20 something. Carl-Henri Morisset, that you see on the video for a minute, a piano player, fantastic piano player, and a fantastic drummer, Élie Martin-Charrière. And I met them, and I thought that was a great idea to play with younger musicians. Like they are 30 years younger than me, and So, but we invited friends of mine, for example, Stéphane Belmondo, that we talked a minute ago. Is there. He was actually the musical director of the session, but he played on 2 or 3 tunes also with us, with the trio. And then, surprisingly enough, that's other piano players. For example, Eric Lenini, that you saw here, and he played also on a couple of tunes, and he was playing the Fender Rhodes, and Carl-Henri is still playing the acoustic piano, so it's 2 keyboards, in 2 or 3 tunes, and also Jackie Terrasson, also, Jackie, right? He's half American, half French, and so we know each other very well, and he accepted to come also, and he played on 2 or 3 tunes. There are actually a tune that is a very beautiful tune that we played, just Stéphane, Jackie, and myself. So with all these musicians, so there are different formulas, according to some tunes, but the basic is actually this trio, with those two, Carl-Henri Morisset, piano, and Élie Martin-Charrière on drums, with myself. And we still go ahead.
I was just gonna say, tell me more about the project. What was behind the project, your idea? How did you, why did you move into the project?
Okay, I'm going to be very honest. That was when I turned 50. When I turned 50, some friends came to me, like Stéphane, actually, Eric Lenini, then an agent that we were working at that time called Christophe de Gelt, and a record engineer his name is Philippe Gaillot. We very often we did a lot of recordings in his studio. They told me, okay, look, this is your birthday present. We offer you a CD, your own CD. You're going to be able to do your own CD, So basically, I wasn't thinking about it, So all of a sudden, they say, "Okay, here you go." So because we had the recording studio, we have the musicians, and we have the agent. Okay, so now do it, So this is the way it happened, and they all did it, for me as a present. They all came to play, and
That's so nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. And then, but it took me, however, when they told me that, it took me 2 years to think about what to do. Wait, damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 years, and after 2 years, I had just met those two young musicians that I was telling you about. And I was like, oh, wow, look at those young musicians that just came, like Eli was probably 20 really when we first met. Yeah, he was 20. And I thought, wow, that would be a great idea to actually play with young musicians that are so, they were so enthusiastic. And so for me to meet those young musicians that they knew everything about jazz music and all, so it was exciting to record. That was, the incentive to actually play with them and do this recording with them. Yeah. But basically,
And,
it was, yeah. It was almost not my idea, you know what I'm saying? Almost because they told me, hey, do it,
That's very nice. That's a nice circumstance.
Yeah, exactly. But I had some tunes, like most of the tunes are actually mine on this recording. That's some tunes that I had recorded before, that I had, not that I had composed before, that we had played. Actually, some tunes we had played with Elisabeth Contomanu, that singer that you mentioned earlier, dear friend of mine, fantastic singer, really. And we had played some of the tunes, and she had even put some words. I was really thinking like songs more than jazz tunes, like songs. So she put some words on it. I remember five of them, yeah. And we were playing those tunes, and so I had already this music in my head, and this happened when we were in New York, So all those tunes were composed when I was in New York, by the way, and so this is this music that I used to do the recording,
Huh. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I really love Elizabeth. When I was in Paris, we got to hang out a little bit, so that was really great. Yeah, she's lovely. I think her son was with her too.
And she actually has 4 sons, and three of them are actually yes, 3 of them are actually musicians. Donald is a fantastic drummer. The older is a fantastic drummer. He plays a lot in Paris with a lot of people and different great bands, And they did a recording actually with Elizabeth, with John Scofield. They invited him. With Donald. Donald was on drums, and the Daryl Hall, the bass player, American bass player, living in Paris. And so that's Donald. Then she has another son. It's called Joey. Okay. The funny thing, it's not funny. It's like this is it. This is the French jazz history. Joey is actually Stéphane's Belmondo's son. Elizabeth Contomanu, and that we talk about, and Stéphane that we've been talking about, my dear friend. They were married. Yeah. So they had.
That's funny.
They had Joey. He's probably now 32 or 33 anyway, and he's a fantastic guitar player. He plays guitar. He's not a professional. He does something else, but still, he's a really great guitar player. And I was wrong, because he's not the second; he's the third, Joey. Now she had a second son. His name is Gustav. His name is actually, listen, Gustav Karlström. He was born in Sweden. He was married with a Swedish piano player. Anyway, and he's a fantastic pianist, singer, and pianist, singer, and arranger and composer. And he's more into R&B than jazz, but he's really So we actually did a recording with Elizabeth. A very long time ago. Do you see me still? We did a recording with Elizabeth with her 3 sons, together.
Oh wow!
With her 3, the 3 sons were in the recording. Yeah, that was very nice to do. Yeah,
she lived in New York, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she was there before me, actually. Yeah. She stayed all same thing, like probably about 10 years. We were there. together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, the apartment that where my wait. Yeah, the apartment where my son was born, where I was living, was actually Elizabeth's apartment before. She left and she said, "Oh yeah, take this apartment." So see, just to tell you that all those people that we are mentioning, we have a whole we share
Connection.
more than music. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you a good feeling, the community, right? It's like family, right?
But it is absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We, LA is different, obviously, than New York. I mean, it's not as condensed, and
Mhm.
it doesn't feel like it's as condensed with the music near each other, But
Right.
there's a lot. I mean, we have an abundance of great players here, and
I
a
know.
lot of New York musicians are moving here actually because it's just easier to live,
Yeah.
And
The weather
but
is no. Yeah.
I know it's much better. I'm
Yeah.
from Boston. And
Oh.
so I moved out here after college. I went to Berkeley and I moved out here.
Okay.
And I lived in San Francisco for a minute, but it was too much like Boston and I wanted to change. So I moved down to LA and then I was actually going to move to New York and I
Wow.
met my first husband. So I stayed here. But
Yeah.
it's very comfortable and I think you'll get a kick out of my point of view. I always thought the East Coast had this big wheel turning, and the challenge was to jump on the wheel. On the
Oh,
West Coast, there's no wheel turning, so the challenge is to build it.
oh, I see.
And
That's
really,
interesting.
it
Ah,
is a different feeling like that.
yeah.
So that's what I got good at. I got good at building wheels, over here.
Nice. Yeah.
But of course, I often wonder, what if I had moved to New York? And I wonder, what if I had moved to Europe?
Yeah.
Uh, it would have been, a different life. And but
Yeah.
anyway, that's okay. I'm fine where I am.
Yeah, of course. But I remember what you said regarding the difference in between New York and LA. I remember, when I was reading when I was young, I'm talking about when I was 18, and I was reading all those books about jazz and about history of jazz and da da da. And there was always this thing they were saying, the guy they were saying, well, in New York, well, the thing that they created bebop, da da da, because life is like hysterical there. In New York, it's so crazy, so many things happen. So they play music that reflect this way of living. And then on the West Coast, well, this was what we call, I mean, in France, I don't know, you guys do this called the same, the West Coast jazz, which was
Yeah,
very much cooler, and I remember
cooler.
they
Yeah.
were saying, "Oh yeah, it's because they have sun every day. They are cool. They have nothing to worry about. They just go to the beach, and they play a little little music." I know, it's not true, but it's not true.
Yeah, I mean, it came out like that for a reason, right?
Yeah,
The West
yeah,
Coast cool. I mean, it happened for a reason. It didn't, yeah, it was just, life was different, more laid back. The weather, it's a big thing, the weather. By the way, Daniel Yvanek is here.
okay.
And he
Yeah.
says, he's his Bramerie in the dark, mystery man.
And yeah, where are you hiding? We
Daniel,
worked
he's in the car, but I told him he looks like Sting, he looks very, very hip, with the lighting and everything.
yeah, that's good. Yeah.
He said
I
too
know that
long,
we worked a
too
lot together.
long.
He produced several recordings that where we worked together on, and it's always extremely interesting because this guy knows everything. Look, I mean, about music. I remember, I mean, when we were doing, preparing the recording with this guy, Pierrick Pedron, I don't know if you know him, alto player, fantastic alto player, with actually the rhythm section I told you about, those two young guys, Eli.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so we spent like 4 days together in the same room in a little theater. We did like a little residency, you know, for four days together, playing, talking, rehearsing, trying things. And every day, like Daniel was bringing stuff, like some crazy stuff, you know, was, yeah, you do like they do in the Led Zeppelin band, you know, or whatever. I mean, he was bringing stuff that are outside of jazz, you know, and that was very interesting, you know, and because he knows everything, you know, about music history, all the recordings, all the record company, all the, you know, that's very precious, you know, to work with him. You know, very nice. Yeah, yeah.
He's really cool. I spoke with him again, you know, more recently, and
Right.
you know, just his music is, gosh, I mean, there was one thing I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a very kind of out of the box, and it was I was in heaven listening to that, man.
Right,
That
right.
was just so beautiful. He's really, and he's just so nice. He's such a nice
Of course,
person, you know.
of course. Yeah. And he's a bass player.
Yeah.
He's a bass player. So each time he's here in the room, which is very often when we do recording, he's here as a producer, you know. So I have to pay attention to what I do. Yeah. Wait, I have to move my car, but because this guy that's the drummer. He's
Okay.
okay. I'm still waiting for the sax player. He was eating his dessert, you know. Said, no, that's okay. Okay, so
Oh,
maybe it comes. We'll see. Yeah.
by the way, Daniel says, Jesus, I'm glad I'm listening
So
right
I'm
now.
still here in the car, but not moving.
Did you hear that?
He said, who? Who said that?
Daniel. Daniel, he said, Jesus, I'm glad I'm listening right now.
Oh,
You know, to the compliments, I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, so let me find out like a little bit. I let's see. I can't remember what I read all about you. I know that you know, lived in New York, but I mean before that. So, when you were growing up, were
Yeah.
you kind of destined to be a bass player or destined to be a jazz bass player? No, you started with guitar, right? Didn't I
Oh,
read
yeah,
that?
probably, yeah, yeah. I still have a guitar at home. That, you know, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of bass players, as a matter of fact, a lot of bass players, uh, very often they started with another instrument, probably guitar
Yeah.
thing. Because the picture. Oh, you don't hear me anymore. You see me hear me?
I hear you, but you're a little broken up, and oh, you're probably back. Okay. Or maybe not. You're a little frozen too.
Wait,
Just in that one, those
back
few
up a
feet that
little
you
bit,
moved.
and yeah. So wait. I'm gonna back up a little. Maybe I'm. Anyway, so okay, and yeah, I was saying, I started as a guitar player, yeah, and I played a little piano as well. But anyway, the guitar is still helping me a lot as a bass player, you know, because you have I know all the chants, you know. When I practice a tune, I play it on the guitar because first, you know, I still do that, you know, at home, because it helped me hear the changes, to hear the chord. You know, if you play bass, I mean, you play G and that's it. You don't know if it's G minor, G major, whatever. But if you play the whole chord on the guitar, you can hear it. So that helps me a lot, you know, really. So I'm very glad that I had this background, you know, playing as a guitar player. And then basically, to make it short, we were in this school that I was telling you about with the Belmondos, you know. Very often at night, in the evening, we had like a little orchestras, and with students, you know. And they very often they were telling me, man, you know, you play good guitar. Yeah, go. Oh, my friend, the sax player, is entering with me. So
Bonjour.
bonjour. Yeah. Mel Marquez.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Yeah. So and they were telling me, oh man, you know, I mean, great, you play good guitar, but we don't need a guitar, we need a bass. So maybe you can... so I was playing the electric bass of the school, and you know, just to be able to, so we have a bass, you know, in the orchestra. And finally we started to do some little concert, and I was as a bass player, and everybody is telling me, oh yeah, no, that's good, you have a good, you know, keep on the bass, we don't care about the guitar. So basically, because I wanted to play jazz and you know, an acoustic jazz, you know, I didn't care about the electric bass. And I got my friend Philippe Soira, the drummer, fantastic drummer that we played with tonight, he's leaving anyway. So, and finally I ended up getting me an upright bass, you know, because this is the sound I wanted to hear. I didn't want to hear any electric bass, you know. So I switched to the upright bass. This is what happened. And quickly I moved to Paris. And I must admit that I had an opportunity that was kind of really, it kind of, for me, it was like being at school again, is that there was a jazz club in Paris when I moved there. I'm talking about 91. That was called La Villa. And in this club, they used to hire like soloists, most of the time American soloists, and hire a Parisian rhythm section. And we were playing with, and they hired me very often. Sometimes I was playing 3 weeks a month, you know, like for like 6 months. And I was playing, and I played 1 week with Clifford Jordan, 1 week with Frank West, 1 week with Joe Lovano, 1 week with Tom Harrell, 1 week with, you know, it could be Tommy Flanagan. I mean, you know, you name it. So for like 3 years, I was there. And it was like being at school, but I was getting paid for that. You know, I'm playing with all those guys. And this, I must admit that this, and everybody was saying, oh man, great, what are you doing in Paris? Why don't you come to New York? You know, that's why I moved to New York after a while, you know. But I had met all those guys, and here as well, that was very interesting to play with all those musicians. You know, I remember playing with Frank West. If you see who he is, he was, you know, it was Count Basie big band for anyway. And what you feel, and I was not even speaking English. I mean, I'm still not very good. I kind of lost it. But anyway, I was not speaking English, but you don't have to know how to speak English when you play, as you know. They were just, you know, he was just giving, basically, he was giving, that was amazing. He was just giving the tempo with his feet like this, you know, with his foot, you know, ping, 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 and just giving the key. And we were playing any standards, any blues, any, you know. And the feeling that you have, if you are open, as we were talking at the beginning of the interview, if you are open to what's going on the bandstand, you know, if you are open, if you receive what those guys project right out of the instrument as you play, it's you learn so much. I mean, you receive something that you have in you, and it never leaves. You know, it's inside of you, and when you play, it's here. Oops, can you? I wonder if we should start to drive, and I hope I'm not going to lose you. We're going to drive.
Go ahead and drive. If I lose you, we'll just make another time to finish talking, because it's fun to talk and to listen to what you have to say. So but start driving by all means. They have an hour to drive back to Paris. So go ahead.
Yeah. And I'm gonna ask my maybe to put the GPS. So tu peux faire ça. Je suis chez toi. Tu peux aller, on va chez toi direct. I hope we're not going to lose the connection. Okay, I hope. Yeah. So so basically that was it. Basically when I went to, as I was saying, I started in this school where there was the Belmondos, where there was the Petruccianis. Michel Petrucciani was there, and then I moved to Paris and I played with all those American musicians, and I was like like a master class every week, playing with all those guys in Paris. I was playing with a lot of fantastic French musicians as well. I'm not saying that only American musicians.
Yeah.
But when you play, with those guys, I was mentioning him, or Clifford Jordan, I remember. He was telling me some I'm going to tell you this very quick, little tiny things, He said, okay, let's play Quasimodo. You know what that is? Quasimodo is like a tune by Charlie Parker that based on Amber W, right? So I can't remember very well the melody. Anyway, he was playing this. So we were rehearsing a little bit, and he said, man, okay, do you smoke? I said, no, I don't smoke. He said, okay, look, let's say that you smoke. So when we start playing, you play the first note, then you take your cigarette, you put it on the amp next to you, and then you continue to play. This is the feeling I want to hear. That was, that's amazing. And for me, so that was really, this type of things you don't learn. It's not a lesson. It's just, he just told me something, that the feeling of what he wants, you cannot learn that with musicians that are the same age than you. You cannot learn that at school. You can learn this only playing with those guys. This music is a oral transmission, basically, meaning that you play with older and more experienced musicians than you, and you catch everything they give you, and this is how you learn this music. That's what I feel. Wait, we're gonna start to drive. I hope we're not going to lose the connection. All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. And I mean, I grew up, my dad was a sax player, so I grew up singing with his bands, and my sisters too. But but yeah, I grew up doing that, playing with older musicians, and there's something else that happens when you do play with older musicians who are experienced.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still have me, right? Or so far?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. We'll see.
Yeah.
I have this young student actually who's been coming. She's how old is she? I don't know. She's maybe 16 years old, and
okay.
She's already been to the Stanford workshop up the coast, and which is a really good summer workshop. And she just, when she talks about it, her eyes go up in her head, and she's like, "Oh God, it was so good." And she wants to play with. Most of the kids her age are not that committed and serious to the music, and she is. So I feel like, for her, I feel like I want to create something, which reminds me I have to call my friend, and create something where these kids can experience that.
Yeah.
So do you know who Bruce Foreman is, the guitarist?
What's his name?
Bruce Foreman.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know him personally, but of course I remember listening to him when I was, especially when I was learning guitar. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So he used to have a program that was a nonprofit program where he would have a group of professional guitarists get together, and the kids would come with their guitars, and there was no music, and they were just playing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it was great. I mean, he had a lot of success with the kids coming up in that. It was, I thought, wow, that's fabulous,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay, are you on the road?
yeah, you still have me, or
I still have you, yeah.
okay, yeah. In another hand, of course, it is great that when you have musicians the same generation get together, and like I see in Paris nowadays, you have a lot of younger musicians that play a different type of music. I mean, it's jazz music, but
Yeah,
it's and it's great because they are creating something new as well. Which is
yeah,
fantastic as well. Which is it's just
yeah.
for me. I I want to hear. I love when I still hear any players. Any instruments, and you still hear the real and that the it's not a question. I was about to say tradition. I don't want to hear. I don't want to say this word, but I mean, you hear that they listen to. They have inside of them all the jazz history, but we cannot avoid this. We have to know all the jazz history from the beginning. All those musicians, and we have to have them inside of us. And you hear that in some musician, and in some other you don't. That's
Yes, that's
but then from there you can create, of course.
yeah.
As there, about this say, right? I think I was told that Barry Harris was saying, but some other musician, I heard it from Dave Clark Terry, the trumpet player, told him this, which is there are three phases. It's like imitation. Imitation is the first one. You try to imitate the people that you love. Imitation. Then it's assimilation. So you have to enter that inside of you, so it is part of your language. And then comes innovation. I think Barry Harris put that in the 3I, which is imitation, integration, innovation. So you have to go through
Yeah.
this. I don't know if I hope you still hear me.
I do hear you, and I love that. So, yeah, and I'm writing it down. Integration. I didn't hear that from Barry Harris, but that sounds like a
I
Barry
don't know
Harris thing.
who said that, but I heard that from different people. Those three phases. Like the first
Yeah.
time it was Dave Holland, and as I said, he said that Clark Terry told him this, and he said imitation, assimilation, innovation.
Right, right.
Yeah,
I'm writing it down.
yeah,
I like those things. I have these what do I it's I keep it by the piano, but I don't look at it that much, but it's something like arrive, be there, like take responsibility, and don't plan the outcome is in there. So it's like what we were talking about before about being in the moment and actually
yeah.
doing it. And yeah, so just, I mean, yeah, it's nice to have things like this, like imitation, assimilation, and innovation. It's nice to have that because it's easy to remember and it's a good reminder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that because the imitation, you can do that listening to recordings, but then
Yeah.
assimilation, that's what I was talking about this when I actually played with those musicians, when I had the opportunity to play with all those older and part of all those guys that were part of jazz history that I used to listen to the recording actually, and then I had the opportunity to meet them and to play with them, and this is when everything gets inside of you, and you start to assimilate, this
Yeah.
whole language, and I mean, and then comes whatever you want to create from this point on.
This is the stuff that, like, it's just, it's I mean, we're talking about it, but it's so hard to put it into words,
Right.
because it's a state of mind and I call it the aesthetic universe also. So it's like a whole universe in itself where
Yeah.
aesthetics live and things happen in this universe. And sometimes they're unexplainable, but when you're there, or when you're listening to it, when you're in it, when you've been invited into it, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I trust it.
Um, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. You know,
I don't
to me,
know. I could talk about this stuff forever, really,
right,
because I love it.
absolutely. And honestly, like yesterday, I was listening to the news on TV. Okay, I was listening to the news. Wait. Oops. Ici, là-bas, hein? Là-bas. Wait. We are trying to drive
Okay.
our way to Paris. Paris is a little, so we don't know where it is. Anyway, and I was listening to the news, and so they were talking about Vladimir Putin, and then they were interviewing like soldiers that are coming back from the front, and then talking about Gaza and all of that, and really, 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 I was like, guys, it's not life. What you guys do is not life. That's not life. This is something that you are inventing right now, but this is not life. You don't kill people. You don't go there. This is not your country. What are you doing? You don't kill people. That's crazy. This is unreal. I was listening to that, really saying, this is not life. This is not the truth. That's not the truth. We don't do that. We don't have to do that. That's crazy, because when you look at human history, we've been doing that for the last at least 1,200 years, since 12,000 years, since the human beings trying to have little societies, right, together,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden we try to organize society and we kill each other. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. This is not life. So when you talk about jazz, when you talk about music, what we were talking about tonight with this guy, all of that, that's the reality. That's the way it is. We have to listen to each other and to accept each other. And while nowadays everything we listen on the news is just unreal. Guys, we are going in the wrong direction. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That we see that. That's crazy. Anyway, sorry.
Of course, I agree. No, I mean, no, I'm glad. I mean, I rarely go through a day not talking about that, with somebody. Yeah, I listen to a lot of spiritual philosophers, and it's interesting to me to hear what they say about what has happened on the planet and how it's gone. Like, there's one group called Science. Let's see, Science and I forget. It's called SAND, SAND. It's an acronym for something. But anyway, they're these two Italians, a couple, and they started. They made a movie about people and how it had both the information about these indigenous people and their healing and how they lived and their perspective, and then also there was the side that what society did to them. It was horrible. I mean, they were like beaten when they spoke their own language, really terrible things. And then they realized that it was not just a one movie subject. So they started going all around the world to do it. Last night I was watching a bit of the New Zealand indigenous people. And I mean, it's there's these different layers. There's, of course, white and black, and we can't say that the black is not happening. It's happening. We have to see everything and observe like a witness so that it will dispel, because if you resist it, it just stays there harder than ever. But I think, I mean, doing this show since the pandemic, I I was surprised by my own reactions, realizing how many people on the planet were putting out music and art.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was so surprised, but it kind of blew me away because I feel like we're actually keeping the planet spinning, because
Yeah.
if it was just the other stuff, it would just be a ball of dirt, you know? And so, yeah, so I was just talking to my girlfriend yesterday about this stuff. And, I was saying, it's heartbreaking how we humans have been manipulated all through history to lose sight of the organic reality that we're brothers. We're the same tapestry. What I do affects you, and the land, the earth, the air, everything. But we've been so manipulated away from that. It's horrifying. And then, so right now, what's happening on the planet is just bringing it up even more strongly. It's like it's bubbling up, and we're really getting to experience and see what the black side is. And it's not pretty, but I mean, I'm a positive person. You sound like you are too. I feel like the positive things that are being created are actually more real, more honest, more real. And so they're going to remain even as the black oil is bubbling up and off, So, I mean, I have to think like that. I
Of course.
would probably just curl up and,
No, I understand.
yeah.
I agree with you. It's difficult sometimes to stay positive because of everything that is happening. But
Yeah.
still, I think, I mean, artists and for us, I mean, just jazz musicians, it's not a big deal. There are not that many jazz musicians around the world, but some of us. And for real, still, even if all this mess is happening, we still play. When we play, we are in a state that is the opposite of what's going on. So maybe that helps. Let's hope it helps when we share with the audience, we share on stage. And as you said, well, the state of mind or the spirit we have when we play is the opposite. That's why I was talking about the news that I heard yesterday. I mean, that we've been hearing for the last centuries, but anyway, and because I feel it has so nothing to do with what we do as musicians. That's why I was saying it seems unreal, because the reality is, as you said, we are all brothers and sisters, and we are all one thing, basically. So if we kill one people, it's like chopping off your hand. I mean, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. And as you said, the crazy thing is that when you listen to those guys nowadays, they are speaking, well, we have a nice weapon, nuclear weapons that we built very brand new. It's great, it's fantastic. It's very high technology. That's what I said. This is something we built to kill 10,000 people in one time. And they say, well, this is very high technology. That's why I'm saying this is not real. This is unreal. When we play, this is reality. When we play and we share everything at the same time all together, that's reality. Everything else is bullshit. I'm sorry to say that. It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's very true. I saw I saw two concerts recently that kind of brought this what we're talking about. I saw one concert. We have this concert, the Angel City Jazz Festival, which is put on by Rocco Samazi. He's always been a very forward thinker, and so he puts on every year. He puts on a 10-day festival of creative music. He calls it creative music. I mean, it's some of it. I just what I would call avant-garde, but it's yeah, okay. So it's creative music. It's and there was one concert at the museum that had this group. I guess I should just call it like the kind of jazz that can be played by like certain black musicians with kind of like what you were talking about, this historical effect. But you also get they kind of tie it all in together, respect for the elders, real commitment and moving forward. And not only was the music just great, but the crowd was absolutely varied, and living, just being in this moment with all these varied people, just totally living in that space. It was just, it was great. That made a big impression on me. And the other concert that I saw the other night was Jacob Collier.
Right.
And he was all alone. He was playing all alone at Disney Hall, which is this fantastic hall. And he got the whole audience to sing parts, and that was just another really intense experience because everybody there was active. They were affected and active. And he was very natural and open and in the moment. And, he hadn't super planned out anything. It was just what he felt like doing, So these things, I agree with you. I can't help but think that these things are really important and hopefully changing the planet, towards the better instead of buying the crap that they're trying to manipulate us with. I mean, I can't tell you how many of my friends, our perspective on Trump and, it's just like, what? This is so unreal. It's unreal. I mean, it's not just America. I know there's shit happening everywhere, but Trump is just such a clown, and it's just hard to even imagine that it's all going on. I'm not personally affected yet. My friend on the East Coast is personally affected, in a few different ways, and so it's not like it's so far away, so I don't know, man.
Yeah,
we were
actually in France. We were actually talking with my friend Mel here. We were talking on the way going to the gig. We're about the French election that are coming up next year. I mean, in 2007, the French elections. And nowadays, like they did a survey, and like 54% of the French population, 54. Well, that's a survey, okay, though. So maybe it's not the reality, but still, out of this survey, it came out that 54% of the population, French population that vote, French population, they are okay to vote for the Rassemblement National of Marine Le Pen, which is the extreme right, and so 54% of the French population, they are like, yeah, sure, why not? Why not the extreme right? We were talking about that because, in their program they want to cut all the subsides for culture, for music and art in general. In their program they want to cut that.
Yeah.
But more than half of the population is like, yeah, sure, why not? The extreme right. That's for us. But apparently, for most people, it's okay. For us, jazz musicians, we were talking about that. We freak out. That's crazy. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what happened. The first time, people were like, "Oh yeah, let's vote for Trump," and then the second time, it was, yeah. I don't think all of the people who voted for him are happy. I think at least half of them are not happy. They're pissed
Right.
off. So, but and like I was talking with a friend about them cutting funding for the arts.
Yeah.
And this friend is not a musician. And to him, he feels like the people with money should give donations to these arts programs and not necessarily the government. But to me, it's like you can't the government, by the government supporting the arts, they're helping and supporting their people, because we know how much it changes people and gives, it inspires and it gives to people. But it's interesting. I mean, this person is not for Trump, but he and I disagree on that particular case, but I guess I can see why, but I don't agree with it. But I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, nowadays, yeah, really, I mean, we could talk about other stuff, like, for example, all the, we all, it seems that all of us, we live more inside our telephone than in real life. Nowadays, it's a little crazy too. That's another thing that is going on in society.
That's
I
true.
remember some, like, I remember about 10 years ago, there was a concert of Alicia Keys. And apparently she stopped the concert in the middle saying, "Hey guys, I'm here. Stop filming. Stop. Remove all the telephone. I'm actually here right now. Stop it." She said, "What are you going to do? You're recording the thing and you're never gonna look at it anyway, right? So I'm here. Don't look at me through your telephone." But this is the way we live nowadays, more and more. And this is also something that I'm like, and we cannot avoid it. Me too. All of us, we live inside the telephone more and more. And and this is, and we don't look around us. We look through the telephone. And this is how do you say, a situation that we have. Like, I mean, I don't know. This is really we have to think about this. Wait, I don't want to miss. Là-bas, go ahead. Sorry. Still trying to reach Paris. City of lights and love.
Reminds me of being in a movie for some reason. Well, that's
a road movie right now.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, you're of course you're right. Everybody talks about that too.
Yeah.
It's unsettling to me to go out to eat and see people on their phones and not talking with each other. It's like it's a shame. I mean, I understand checking something, but not sitting there the whole time and just not having real communication. Yeah, it's bizarre.
But the thing that is a little scary for me is like it is not a choice that we do to look at our telephone. It's like because we have no other option. Like right now, Mel and I, we have two telephones that are on right now because we know we need to use it. That's the thing, is that this is what scares me a little bit, is because we cannot live without using the telephone for everything.
Yeah.
For my calendar, for my train tickets, for to call my wife. I don't even know her number by heart. When I was younger, I used to know all my girlfriends' phone numbers, all of them by heart. So anyway, so it's not. So when you see people now, I used to think, oh, look at them, they look at the telephone. But now I'm not thinking this. I'm like, I understand that we have no other options. We have, when you want to pay, you use your telephone. When you want to go to the metro station, you have to use your telephone. Everything. So that's the way it is. And at some point, it's a little scary, I think, to me. But I don't know. That's another subject. But anyway, so yeah.
Well, that's just another reason why we're playing jazz,
Also, yeah. However, right, no, you're absolutely right. And however, and this is what scares me also, is that even us jazz musicians, we actually, all of us, we do a concert. Actually, we didn't do it tonight, but very often the guy said, wait, during the sound check, they actually put the telephone on stage and they film, and then they send a little video that lasts 17 seconds. Say, hey, listen to my solo that I did and da. So this is the opposite of jazz music. The jazz music is like, yes, you have to listen to the beginning. This is a whole story that we tell. It's not like just my little solo that I just played, but all of us, we do it. I mean, I don't actually, but probably I will do it someday. I don't know, but a lot of musicians, they do that, and we see a lot of very short thing, because it has to be short, like 30 seconds, where you hear some little thing, and they say, oh, no, we have to do it. We cannot avoid to do that because we have to do it. People have to talk about it. And maybe they are right. I'm not saying to my friends, don't do it. I'm just saying, wow, this is the way we live nowadays, So of course, when we play a tune that lasts 7 minutes, it's too long nowadays. Nobody has the time to spend 7 minutes to listen to the same tune. That's crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy, man. It's crazy. I used to listen a lot to my records and CDs, for some reason in the kitchen, I had like a 6 CD player, and I would listen to those CDs for 2 weeks. And I would just put it on, and it would really soak in. And now I listen to, iTunes or Spotify or my library, but it's not the same kind of experience. It kind of goes through a record and then it goes to another one, and that's the last record is kind of gone. And of course, I'm working on music all the time, so I have also a CD player in my office here, and a lot of CDs that I like to listen to. But it's you have to really carve out your time to, take a moment, calm everything down. Here's some time. I'm going to listen. And oh God, I remember like 20 years ago, I was dating a bass player, and we used to lie on the floor in the dark listening to records.
Wow, that's great. Yeah,
it was great, and I really heard things that I hadn't really heard before. It was wonderful.
And you try to do it nowadays. Your telephone, after 2 minutes, your telephone is going to beep, with a notification telling you that there is a game that you have to watch tonight or something, whatever, anything. The phone is going to disturb you, all the time.
Yeah.
But the thing, I'm saying that I'm not judging. I'm just noticing that we cannot do otherwise. This is the way we live. This is the way we live. And young people nowadays, they they don't listen. They don't care about record CDs or stuff. You know, they just listen to a sound, or how they call it. You know, a sound of a guy, and they listen to their on their telephone very quick. You know, and they know it.
Yeah.
But it's another way. The whole thing is changing fast. That's we have to adapt.
Yeah.
I heard a guy recently, like a scientist or a psychologist or whatever, saying what we have to learn more and more, it's learn how to learn, because things are changing so fast that we have to learn new things all the time. And we have to learn how to learn very quick. And then to unlearn, that's what he was saying. Then to unlearn, because what you learn and what you know, it's going to be wrong in about 2 years anyway. This is changing. You know what? So what you know now, it's going to be wrong in 2 years, because it will have changed. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm not speaking
Totally.
very well, but
No, I totally get it. Yeah, it's exponential. It doesn't just grow like this; it grows like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, you learn this, and then it's not just the improved version of that. It's now it's like this, something else. Yeah, I mean, I think that's, like I said, I'm a pretty calm person, but the thing that doesn't make me remain calm is technology problems that come up, which is exactly how I feel about what you just said. It's not just an improved version of this that's, a higher level. It's this. It's like a whole new thing.
Yeah.
And in another month or two, it'll be another whole new thing,
Yeah.
I just upgraded my Mac later, the newest version, and I'm really sorry I did, because it's just created so many problems, that I have to deal with. Now I have to learn. Now I have to call somebody who won't respond to my calls. That's the other thing too. I don't know if it's like that in France, but all of a sudden in America here, it's like, I don't know, in the last year or something, it's like you write to somebody or you send a message and nobody responds. It's like, I don't even know what to do anymore.
I agree. Yeah. We don't even have time to talk to friends, actually. You're right. We just send text message very quick, or voice message. You send voicemail. This is the new thing. You send voicemail because at least you don't have to talk to him. You talk to him, but you don't have to hear his answer. You just send that. Everything, no, but that's the thing. Once again, I'm not judging or criticizing. I'm just seeing the huge differences every year, something different. And we are not talking about ChatGPT and the IA yet, you and me. But
I was trying to stay away from that.
You're right.
Actually, though, to tell you the truth, I have enjoyed using it, but I use it for very specific things that, like I would be researching or doing something myself for probably a few hours, and I can ask ChatGPT about it, and it can give me a reasonable answer that I can actually work with. So, I mean, but of course, there's more and more and more things that it's doing that are getting in the way of people. It's like I was saying before, I'm not affected by what Trump is doing quite yet. My girlfriend is across the country. So it's kind of that, if you're somebody that ChatGPT is taking over your job, you're affected by it, so yeah.
Of course. But it's coming in music as well. That's the thing, It's coming in music.
I know.
So we are still, last year we were saying, but the IA is not going to improvise like Charlie Parker. But I'm not sure it is true again yet, still nowadays, because that goes quick. And maybe you can ask, your machine to do like a Charlie Parker solo, and it's going to be, and you're not going to know if it's him or not, for real. It's goes that fast, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's kind of why it's a little scary too. Politics are a little scary as well because we don't know what the near future is going to be like. Maybe AI is just going to create this whole uh, or what is it? The writer who wrote all those futuristic scary stories, Orson Welles? No, well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, boy, during the pandemic, I read a few of those books, Animal Farm and something else, and I was really sorry I read them. I hadn't read
My
them.
friend, that is George Orwell, not Orson Welles.
Yes, I was really
Orwell.
sorry I had
He
read those
wrote he
books
wrote
during that time.
1984. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very scary, and it remains in the back of your mind as a possibility, you know. Um, that's why we have to keep doing what we're doing, you know. And I love what you did tonight, you know, where you're working and how that I mean, for those of you who didn't hear what Thomas and his sax player, the Earth friend, were doing, it was really an interesting, wonderful thing how they were with some business people and talking about how jazz was an example of how people could work together, you know, which is just, yeah, we need more of that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, yeah. What the guy was saying, and yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You know, Thomas, I'm gonna go. I'll let you drive, and
Okay.
because there's only, I mean, we've been actually talking for about 2 hours, so it's really been fun. I want to talk to you more. If you ever come to LA or you want to, let me know and I'll create a gig for you here or whatever. I
Absolutely.
don't know.
Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, and thanks again for driving me from Long Beach to downtown LA the other night. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was nice.
Yeah,
I enjoyed doing that. Well, even though you were asleep, you and your wife were asleep,
that's
but I
true.
really liked doing that.
That's true. We fell asleep.
And
Fortunately,
then I
John.
had, yeah, I had John stay at my house for like 4 days,
Oh,
and we had a good time.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a John DiMartino. Yeah, he's really cool guy.
No, he's great. I love him. He's just a piano player, and he's a nice guy. We had a lot of fun with him. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Good luck with everything. I hope let's keep in touch and just it's been wonderful to speak with you and have a safe rest of the drive and
Thank you so much. All right, Cathy. So I hope we see each other again soon. And play together probably. Would be nice. Yeah.
I hope so, yes.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Right. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Have a good evening. Ciao, ciao. Okay, a good day. Sorry for
Thank
you.
you. Thank